Times are changing, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Michelle Obama's doing an arena tour. That's another thing going on. I'm going to say that again. Michelle Obama is doing an arena tour. She's not playing comedy clubs. She's doing arenas. When did First Lady start acting like they got elected? You know? Dude, being a First Lady, that's not a fucking job. Again, Michelle Obama is doing an arena tour. She's not playing comedy clubs. She's doing arenas. When did First Lady start acting like they got elected? You know? Dude, being a First Lady, that's not a fucking job. Just standing there smiling and waving. Right? Look how quiet is it in here. Why is it so fucking quiet? You think that's a job? It's not a fucking job. Dude, if you really think it's a job, it's not a fucking job. Dude, if you really think it's a job, just look at her. Right? Look at Obama. When that guy got elected, he looked like he was about 41 years old. When he left office, that guy looked like he was about 73. Right? Look at Michelle. She looks younger now than she did when that dude got elected. What has she done for the last 8 years? Yeah, other than laying a giant vat of Illuminati-level lotion, First Lady's in line. They do. Dude, George W. was president for 8 years. 8 years. I don't even know his wife's name. What was it, Abigail or some shit? Maggie? No clue. Donald Trump's wife stands behind him like a giant meerkat. Like... Bill Clinton was president. His wife never shut up. Ah, I want to do help. It'll be my last show ever. By the time this fucking kid comes out. Someday, there's going to be the first female president, which means there's going to be the first male first lady, right? Then you wait. You fucking wait. The first time that dude opens his mouth about some political shit, you watch all these feminists. They're all me, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. It is her time now. It is her time. She was elected, not you. Go pick out some plates, bitch.
To be surprised. Maybe I just know white people because I'm white. Like, I was just like, well, yeah, that kind of seems like... Didn't they have a guy there a long time ago? He was like some Indian guy, and the nickname they gave him was Sooty. He was such a sellout. He's going, no, it was a term of endearment. I liked it. And he was like the only Indian dude at the golf club. And it's just like, yeah, those guys exist in like 1860.
Yeah. No one asked what
no.
the skin color of your kids are going to be. That's what the big thing is. They were like, how dark's Archie going to be? And you're like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's like they're just fucking they're just backwards people, dude. And they're all fucking each other. I will tell you this. This is my...
I love all the USC female fighters. That's why I want my daughter to know how to know all of that stuff.
That'd be cool, huh?
When she meets a creep like you, she could choke you out.
Bro, I'm going to say something, right? You walked up this fucking drive.
Why are you pointing at me? I came over here during rush hour to do your podcast.
That, and I'm grateful that you're here.
Nothing but a red line the whole way over here.
For being vulnerable.
Oh, would you stop it? Yeah. Like you have some sort of psychology degree?
10 years in therapy.
I had to agree with that, and you all had to be like, we gotta like expand this thing.
We thought we'd funnel money into Canada and keep it here, but you guys took it over, like you tend to do. But
I'm not going to apologize for that.
No, you're big on the
I mean, that's just business, dude. You're acting like we came and knocked you on the head. You know what we're about?
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah. Wait a second, fellow white person, not native to this country. How did you guys get this up here? Did the Native Americans go, oh, well, we like these white guys?
Zippitydoodah.com.
Because the older guys, Robert Kelly's and all, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm just immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah,
but it's more of a necklace.
When the chain's out,
he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck. You have 9 different positions since you've started this sentence.
Yeah, because I've been training with Trevor Whitman.
Oh, yeah. You started this sentence.
Yeah, because I've been training with Trevor Whitman.
Oh, yeah.
With my footwork.
Yeah. Oh, Trevor Whitman. Oh, my God.
Do you know him?
No.
The deepest couch in sports entertainment. A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
And a giant desk.
You gush. You gush over your daughter. Not everyone gushes. Did your dad gush over you?
I mean, I was too little. Yeah, no, my dad was my.
Are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what, this was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water and they're going to be like,
Panthers. Like, I love how you came at me aggressive and now you're going, you got your little panda hands
I love how you attacked my little panda hand.
That's what you look like. You look like a little panda.
I know. I was just, because when you took your hat
you look like a little adolescent bear.
At some point, I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs.
They just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
you know
I want
what
to.
I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I
came on. That kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night.
Yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July as a redhead. You know, I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. He changed the world. Doesn't say. He changed the world. The world was one way. And then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. Well, there's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around here. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window. Their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you got to throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, just... Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones. We did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad.
Guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see? That makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking, that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die, and I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. People are like, can you believe he left that? Damn, look at dog. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology. God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. I'm sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, we should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs, they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and adopt an inmate, and on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some... What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let the thoughts chiming in, leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile indie stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, that blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do? Call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. It's like what? You hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea.
Oh, they just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Why don't you do me a favor? Try this shirt on. You're like, okay. How come the sleeves are so long? Oh, because we're going to tie your arms behind your back because you're out of your fucking mind. That's it. I'm not going to have you out here scaring the shit out of people. Get in the fucking van. Then you got in the van, and that was it. They send you to a nut house. That's it. Boom, bam, done. Nut house. But the problem was the people at the nut houses started fucking the patients because everybody knows.
Scenario of a home invasion. And I don't have any kind of weapon in my house.
So you want to go with the .22 caliber?
Right.
Perfect gun to shoot in the house. It's a low caliber gun. You can't really kill anybody from a distance, you know? So if they take a hostage, you can just start shooting at them.
Perfect.
Just let it go.
This is good to know.
Yeah. So when I'm on the road, I talk about getting a .22. Everybody makes fun of me. You know, because, you know, it's that guy thing. Like, oh, what, are you going to shoot a squirrel?
Yeah.
With your little, you know, little gun? But...
So it's a .22 you think is superior to the
well, you don't want to get
part
like
of a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. You don't have like a .44 Magnum. It's like you're going to shoot through the guy, through the wall, blow your dog's brains out, and like drop the engine out of your car. It's way too much. You just
22.
get like a little .22. You can still hear if you miss.
Right?
No, I shot a .38 one time with no hearing, no hearing protection.
Yeah.
I was doing landscaping for this guy. And all of a sudden, yeah, you could just...
Why did you do that? It was the 80s.
Yeah, it was. We went down the street. Somebody burned a car for insurance, so we were shooting at that. And after the first shot, I couldn't hear anything, and I never forgot that. So if you're in the house and you miss, now you can't hear. You're blinded by the muzzle flash. This guy's coming around your bed with a sickle, and you're shooting the wrong way.
He's got a sickle? Is he harvesting wheat? What's he doing? What's he doing in your house?
No, or it's your what's for dinner. If somebody comes in, it's on you. That's why I never was comfortable in a motel.
What?
Because you're just laying in this bed like 2 feet from a door that just opens up into the parking lot. Any guy can come in. And you're just not ready to have a fight to the death. You're just laying there. You know, you turn the check, this guy comes in.
Well, to be honest, I'm never ready to have a fight to the death. It's not like in a motel.
Those doors, like there's just people in there, just laying on beds, like half naked, you know, just laying there.
And the door is like that thick. It's barely.
You could put your foot right through it. He's going to be like that. That's it. Last thing you're going to see is just. You're going to be looking back at your own body like upside down.
You're crazy.
No, I do think about that. She was a psycho killing people, and she should have died. But I'm like watching it feeling guilt. Do they ever take responsibility for their actions? Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have like midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. But she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got, and then she's sitting there across from this guy like, so how could you close the door and you'd have that empty seat next to you, like the poor man's first class. You're like, oh shit, I'll bring the armrest up. I can actually be great. And then all of a sudden some fat bastard gets on the platform and you're like, no. You're literally, you're like Quint at the end of Jaws, like sliding down the bar.
Worried about this environmental stuff. You really are worried about it.
I am and I'm not. I just also feel like, you know.
Worried about this environmental stuff. You really are worried about it.
I am and I'm not. I just also feel like, you know, it'd probably be a good thing if most of us died. You know what I mean? It would be. We had all these waffles, eggs, bacon, this whole layout. My brother was looking at half-eaten cube steaks. So he looked at my mom. He goes, Mom, can I have a waffle? She goes, no, that is your breakfast. And he goes, oh, Mom, I hate you. And my dad, without looking, horrific. I could have lifted him when Bruce became Caitlyn. That was like a national news story. Dude, you shaved your beard off. People were like, oh, my God, that's your chin? Wow. This guy walked out a dude, came back a woman. You're just supposed to be like, oh, yes, anyways, Caitlyn, that's all I was saying. I miss that guy. I miss him already. He should have told us. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I love, you know, I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chip. But even then, you got to know where to go in the store. Like, where is the thing that is on sale, right? Where are those mint Milano cookies or whatever they have that you're going to make a beeline for? It's just not what it. They got like a mascot now.
They got a mascot?
They got a mascot.
I didn't know they had a mascot.
They tried a mascot in the late 70s, and the guy got pelted with so many, like, cigarette lighters that he quit after, like, 3 games. And that's what I mean. Now I come back to Boston, everybody's like, they like, holding, you know, swaying, singing this song. It's just...
It's
the
not the
Patriots have, like, a lighthouse at their stadium now. It's just not the city I left. You would sit there wasting your time. They all say the same thing. They're all like, you know, over the last 4 years, everything good that happened was because of us. And we would have done more good stuff if it wasn't for those guys. And then the Democrats go, oh, we did all the good stuff. It's like you're all working for the same guy. They bet on both horses, and then it just kind of goes. You know, it's not for you, all right? You vote for that guy that says, like, there's a meteor headed right to side. Because I think both the Democrats and Republicans, they just say the same thing. They just say those applause break. I think it's time to get this country back to work. And everybody, some guy with like a Tennessee sign jumping up and down like he's part of it, right? We're all gonna get replaced by like robots. That's what I think, like, eventually.
You think we're all going to be replaced by robots?
Yeah. According to my YouTube and Wiki, we're all gonna get replaced by like robots. That's what I think, like, eventually.
You think we're all going to be replaced by robots?
Yeah. According to my YouTube and Wikipedia research, I think that's the eventual. You know what it is, Conan? I don't have any kids, and if you go too long, you get a little crazy. You know, you become like that black dude in Predator. Remember that guy? Like, I see it over there in them trees. Remember that guy? Like, I see it over there in them trees. Remember that? Become like that guy.
Well, you've become him because you didn't have children.
Like shaving your head. Yeah. No, you got to have something. I got to have a kid. That's what I got to do. I should just have a kid and play catch with them. You know, lie to them, tell them that, you know, Santa's coming and all that, right?
No, I think it's too late.
Whatever. At least
October 1st at BillBurr.com.
That's right. And I'm hoping people are going to actually download it and pay for it. I am hoping. It's a big risk now.
Yeah.
That could become like a $140,000 business card. You know? That's going to basically be like... And if you're gonna steal it, can you just be honest and just say, I stole it? Can you just do that? Don't be like, we're not stealing it, we're sharing it, man. No, you're stealing it. All right? I hate to tell you this, Lars. No, you're stealing it. All right? I hate to tell you this, Lars was right. He was right. It's stealing. Okay? I did it too, you know?
Lars from Metallica.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the other Lars.
I don't know. There might be another Lars. I'm just trying
like
to be...
a monster movie. Isn't that like the assistant name? Lars, turn the switch.
Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So, yeah, I'm funny compared to, you know, well, you'll see later.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came. That guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys! See, you always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me! Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy! How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window. That out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything he ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones. We did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi, you think you're being healthy, you're eating your own rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Oh my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? There's a bunch of fucking white people all up in arms about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years, John Wayne, saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I am here for in 1907. That's what the fuck he's going to sound like. Then you got all these douchebags going like, that's not an excuse. It's like, yes it is. It absolutely is. You are of your time. Look at these young kids. Remember that for like a year and a half? They take a water bottle. They're all standing around, and one kid would flip it, and if it landed upright, they'd lose. Oh, shit! They just lose their fucking minds. Oh. I didn't understand it. That's all he said, okay? Yes, it's a crazy statement in 2021. 1976, it's not good, but it's not crazy. Right? And he's born in 1930. You got to put the shit in historical perspective. You ever watch? I love old movies. You ever watch movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s? Yeah. Anytime a woman even has heightened emotion, there's some guy like, I gotta hold you. What about all the horrible women in history? You can't just go after the men. That would be sexist. And this is what they don't want. What about Coco Chanel? Great example. Coco Chanel, widely considered a feminist icon. She started her own purse factory, right? The 19-teens or 20s, whatever the hell she did. I can't imagine the sexism that she had to deal with,
Maybe that would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck, you just ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. Well, it would have been if you didn't do what you just did. There would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right?
No, I think I know how to raise a kid. You know what it is? You just play catch with them. That's how you raise a kid. You play catch with them. You just talk about life. You distract them by throwing the ball. They don't even notice. You feel something bad, you feel bad, Unless you're like a sociopath, then you don't feel shit. Unless you got somebody duct taped upside down in your apartment, And if you do something like that, I want you to feel like you can come to me, Yeah, come to me, confess all of that. We'll go down to the precinct, we'll tell them everything. Yeah, I'm gonna turn you in. This isn't fucking Dexter. What are you mind?
Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. What's that? It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, and then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the rope. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant...
People are, excuse me, you're supposed to say we're pregnant? You're supposed to say we're pregnant? It's like, well, I'm not a seahorse. So, I'm not fucking pregnant. My wife is pregnant. Look at her. She's putting on weight. Her feet are swelling up. She's miserable. Fucking miserable. I'm still doing pull-ups. I'm crushing it. While being pregnant. I'm still drinking, smoking. Yeah.
I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000-seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass.
No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of pants was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the rest. No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I think white women started it. At the mall, what happened? No, it's unreal. I'm really fucking annoyed how white women have the fucking balls to throw my white privilege in my face. You know? Sort of separate themselves from these white males with their white male privilege. It's like, bitch, you're sitting in a jacuzzi with me. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, quit your fucking whining. Look, there's a little caveat here, so you don't think I'm a complete asshole right out of the gate. All right, if you live...
Do you feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
well, they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
I am not totally following.
SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
I am not totally following, but I don't think
you know what I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I came on.
That kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know. And we were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great.
Yeah, that's all right.
Be a gentleman and help me out with my question.
Hey, Tony, can you believe that marriage didn't work out?
Gee, I can't believe your relationships don't work out.
Here,
I'm glad.
You can ask me about anything you want.
Yeah. I'm blind to...
Of course I'm interested.
Here, let me help out before you yell at me again.
Joe, you fucking lunatic. Somebody gets in my face, that might cause me to get more lunatic. I eat a little bit of protein. You had to beat the fuck out of people for like 3 decades before you could like chill, smoke a little weed, put on your Little Rascals hat, and just fucking chill out. You don't understand. I love him to death. She either has no stairs in her house, or someone doesn't know how to walk up them. How's that voice? Did you call the plumber? Thank you. That's when she said it. She said it not like I was 10 feet away. She said it like I was downstairs in the rec room. Changing a fuse or something.
I'm sorry. What the fuck am I selling? Did I approve this? This is fucking ridiculous. Who the fuck is gonna buy this shit? This is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. Christmas cake pop, cheesecakes, and dipped pretzels. Call 866 fruit, everybody. I'm sorry, 866. Call 866 fruit, everybody. I'm sorry, 866 fruit 0-2. Or even better, visit berries.com. Oh, punch drunk. Oh, please spell out the words. Oh, by all means, berries. B-E-R-R-I-E-S. Berries. Click on the microphone in the top right corner and type in burr. Hey, you cunts better buy some Sherry's berries, because I'm going to get in trouble with that fucking read, and I'm not changing it because that was hilarious. Wiping tears away here.
With your girlfriend living in LA?
Yes, I am. I'm technically married, but I'm married how like I want to be married.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't sign that behind the music contract where, you know, everything works out until it doesn't work out. Yeah.
With your girlfriend living in LA?
Yes, I am. I'm technically married, but I'm married how like I want to be married.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't sign that behind the music contract where, you know, everything works out until it doesn't work out. Yeah. No, you see, Sugar Shane Mosley, one of the greatest boxers of all time, he's losing his championship belt in a divorce. Losing, yeah. It's like you're trying to break a man. Why does she want those? Right? They go with their shoes. Arnold Schwarzenegger's maid is still called the maid in the story. She knew his wife on a first-name basis, hooked up with this dude in their bed, and is still called the maid. Why did she bang him? Why? Because of that 1987 flat top he's still rocking, right? You don't think it's because of that kindergarten cop money he's got laying around the room? I'm not condoning. Every time one of these guys gets caught for screwing around, these guys come waddling out of their cubicles with their jowls. They're absolutely reprehensible behavior. Like, they have any idea what it's like to be tempted at that level. You know?
Yeah.
As you walk over to your Ford Focus, are you really beating these women off of you? All those people who judge Tiger Woods. How many people here golf? When was the last time you walked off the 18th hole and there was a busload of Scandinavian Steven Seagal movie? No. The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this?
They really have to come to this, people. They really have to come to it. I really hope all of you run into all those black people that you love so much here in Camden. I really hope that happens. I hope there's a line of all of you guys get fucking carjacked and they take out their big black dicks and they just shove. Of all of you guys get fucking carjacked and they take out their big black dicks and they just shove them right in your fucking mouths, each and every one of you, and somehow they just keep repeatedly coming right in your fucking eyeballs until it builds up so much that your eyes they fucking crust over. You can't see shit, and somehow there's another dick in there for you to suck. 10 minutes left. Is this what you want? You fucking bunch of fucking losers. Fucking Rocky is your hero. The whole pride of your city is built around a fucking guy who doesn't even exist. You got fucking Joe Frazier is from there, but he's black, so you can't fucking deal with them. So you make a fucking statue for some 3-foot fucking Italian, you stupid Philly cheese eating fucking jackasses. I hope that cheese melts your fucking faces off. All of you.
Bill, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, thank you. Thank you, all 7 of you. And the 4 Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
Is he in the black section of the crowd? That's what it seems like. They've moved up to the middle. Progress. I like it.
There you are. Look at Billy.
How are you?
You look like a fucking prize.
My stupid headphones to work here. Something that'll work. Let me see if these ones will work. Hold on a second.
No, they work good.
My headphones aren't working for me, though.
Oh, okay.
It's about me, Nick. It's not about you.
A giant desk.
And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country. Yeah, yell at other people's kids. So we're very like, you know, you wouldn't know that we like each other. Let's try to tone it down. No, I'm not. I'm just.
This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's good.
I love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
You know, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't buy it. And then there are people that...
I love those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you. I know a lot of people die.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you. I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I'm starting to see the traffic come back, and I selfishly thought I wish it killed a few more.
I've always kind of been slightly dubious of a comedy competition, though.
You don't have any confidence.
No.
You can't get up there and just do your dick jokes better than other people?
No, I can't. I feel like it's not the right way to go about it.
All you have to do is be louder than someone else.
Oh, I can do that.
Action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah, I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
A lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, you know, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates.
Children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you. Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen. Reversal. Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
So are you in the process? I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what... This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people.
But he's a big guy. He's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us. And for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared. And he's a big guy, you know? So what's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like, there's a danger to buying that car. That big yellow, they see that big yellow prancing pony, and they just come out. They come up out of the manhole covers. All these gold diggers, like a zombie movie. And that is a gold digger magnet. And they're so good at it, they can look and tell if it's rented or not. They know where to look for the sticker. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you. You got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
Every time I go into a store and I see something, they go, can we get a phone number? Watching somebody give them the phone number. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes.
Yeah.
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-2125.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know, I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
Is that a Rolex? Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 20. Oh, is that what it is? Well, thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally felt successful. You see this? You wouldn't say that if I had brown or black hair. Guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch.
You really are the whitest person I've ever seen around.
Yes. Served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah. I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do. I'm talking for tomorrow.
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on you got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is, as annoying as a kid is, they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. You know what? It really is all worth it. I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last 2 elections when they could have voted against the black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. She's going to take her 4-wheeler.
So your Christian background is
Just sort of kept moving them around. Like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think I want to.
You know what I'm talking about? It's a morning show. I understand.
I came on.
That kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, And we were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different.
About the military that got people so mad, or this one guy so mad.
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missiles shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that points in the direction that the plane takes off in, you know what I mean?
Hey, this is Southside Steve, and this is Southside Steve TV, and this is Bill Burr.
That's your question?
I'm just saying who you are.
Oh, yeah, all right. I don't you creep me out with that big microphone and that country. How about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance and I'm a racist cowboy.
You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning. I did. My wife did. I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her off at the emergency room, she goes, all right, you got to go park the car down in the spot. And I swear to God, I was in such fight or flight. I was driving down there. Of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family where I just can't imagine the hell that you would be in to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, the level of excitement that you would have before okay, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And I'm never going to see you people again, your mother-in-law. All weird science, how creepy these nerds are, all these cameras on your phone, all of that. Do people go on Ancestry.com? Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement?
But do you like my mic?
No, I don't. Please.
Is that comfortable? Is this uncomfortable?
No, don't, man. Honestly. Can I take the mic?
Sure.
Now, that's the number one thing you don't do. As 100.5, this is the worst interview I've ever done. And he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
No.
The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this? Conspiracy theory has gotten a bad name where now it's become synonymous with moronic thought. If you're into conspiracy.
It's funny when you said we win, I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African American thing?
Yeah.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people.
Now,
How's this? Are you getting out of an existing house and
No, the hourglass has been turned over.
Yeah.
The sand's starting to fall, and every second you're up there, whatever hit you take, that's one less one you got to take.
Yeah,
and
no, it's true.
I used to always call it my college agent afterwards, flipping out, going, I'm fucking done with these things. I'm never fucking doing this again. I don't give a shit. He'd be like, all right. And then he knew I needed the money. Then he'd call me up and he'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have. And then he knew I needed the money. Then he'd call me up and he'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have a nooner. I'm going to build around it. And, by then I'd be at home and I cooled off. It was a couple weeks later from being on the road and the rent was coming. I needed the money. And he would be like, all right, it's going to pay $700. It's like in the middle of Iowa for $700, all inclusive.
It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. For the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, And I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know why I think it's not going to survive? Why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's help to make it happen. I don't understand it. I don't understand why women say something. Like, why do I have to fucking say something? This is your fucking problem. Why are you always dragging us into this shit? I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. Like I dated this girl one time. She was really into women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like one time she came up to me. She goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why? On fire going, let's go, people. Let's go. Let's go. So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta get in the way of it to give you a head start. Like, rabid dog, run, honey. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Yes, he does have a knife. I say, son of a bitch. Little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. But I'm not a dick though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're gonna make what I make when
has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on oil. What was that movie that guy made? The fucking, they
There Will Be Blood?
Oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be. Thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is. No, it's pandering. It's pandering to the same way I just said I just became a dad to get the applause. I liked it. I'm going to take the subway out here. I'm just going to yell that on the platform like a crazy person. Just became a dad. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. Look, no means no. No, that means no. All right, but no, stop it. What are you doing? Oh my God. You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right?
But then, I think if you watch those, you're an idiot. I don't understand why you would sit there wasting your time. They all say the same thing. They're all like, over the last 4 years, everything good that happened was because of us. And we would have done more good stuff if it wasn't for those guys. And then the Democrats go, oh, we did all the good stuff. It's like you're all working for the same guy. They bet on both horses, and then it just kind of goes. That guy that says, like, there's a meteor headed right towards the planet. That's the guy you vote for. You go with the psycho, because there's no way there's any corporate money behind that guy, right? Like, that guy is going to come on TV. He's going to come on TV like reading files from the Pentagon. Like, you know what else they're doing? Like just freaking people out.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
Did you pay attention to the election? We got a new mayor here. Bloomberg is up.
I didn't even know there was an election. I honestly don't. I don't pay attention at all.
I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys.